What's up, fuckers, and welcome back to another 5-year rebuild here on NBA 2K22 Next Gen. And today we got the Orlando Magic. This is a team that has not been very good in a decent amount of time. They just had the #1 overall draft pick, used it to select Paolo Banchero, and I'm super excited to have him today. He progresses into an absolute monster. I think he's going to be an absolute stud in real life. Most likely going to be the franchise player for this team here today. I'll give you my thoughts on him and the rest of this really young and talented roster once we do get in the video. But real quick, if you have not yet, the road to 40K is officially started. So if you have not yet joined the community, hit that subscribe button. We would greatly appreciate it, and we'd love to have you around here. On top of that, if you guys do have any other video ideas, feel free to comment them down below in the comment section. And if you can leave a like on the video, you'd be the GOAT. Without further ado, man, we got a 5-year Magic rebuild. Let's see if we can turn some things around, maybe win a championship. See you guys in there. So let's talk about the Orlando Magic a little bit. There's a lot of young talent on this team. That being said, not everybody's going to be able to be here the entirety of the video. Some guys are not going to progress as well as we want them to. Money's going to become an issue, but there is still a really talented, good young core here. Also, on top of that, I think I figured out the issue. If you guys watched yesterday's video, this is a new updated shared file. It's kind of a shared scenario, so hopefully everything is somewhat accurate now. I'll actually show you guys what was wrong, or what I believe was wrong anyways. So I went into progression. I have it at 50. This is how my settings are for pretty much every single video, unless it's a challenge or something like that. What I did not end up checking was attribute progression. Like almost all of these were at 75. I'm assuming that's the reason why you had guys like Marcus Smart and Draymond Green being 86, 87 overalls. Hopefully that doesn't happen today. If that's not the problem, then there might be something else. But I can't seem to find anything else. These are always my settings. These are how I do it. But I know a lot of you guys sometimes ask to see these. But so that's going to be kind of the one rule, or it's not rule, kind of the one problem-solving technique I went about using today, and let's see if it works. But let's get into this roster a little bit. Markelle Fultz, also former #1 overall pick, was obviously drafted by the 76ers. His career didn't end up working out there. He's had some injury problems. I'm hoping he kind of bounces back. I mean, he's already bounced back in a big way from, being declared pretty much one of the biggest busts in NBA history to developing somewhat of a solid career in Orlando. It's not #1 overall pick potential, you know what I'm saying? It's not #1 overall pick career. Like, he should be a lot better, but, obviously things change. And now he's here in Orlando. We got Cole Anthony, who progresses into an absolute monster in this game, #15 overall pick. Back in the 2020 draft, I'm actually going to be starting him, and then I have Fultz off the bench. It's a really good point guard tandem, and I'm excited to have him. Jalen Suggs, 2021 draft, #5 overall pick. I was actually surprised. I remember watching the 2021 draft. The Toronto Raptors obviously had the 4th overall pick right before this, and I was screaming. I was like, draft Jalen Suggs, draft Jalen Suggs. They obviously took Scotty Barnes, and it obviously worked out, I'd say, a little bit better than Jalen Suggs. Not a shot at Suggs. It's just crazy how, everybody thinks they're right, and they typically never are. RJ Hampton here, 24th overall pick, 2020 draft. Will probably be our backup shooting guard for a decent portion of the video, unless, the money comes into play at some point. Gary Harris, I'm not going to be using him today. He's just chilling. Franz Wagner, who was another 2021 pick. He was #8 overall. We're most likely going to see if we can progress him into an absolute stud. He had a really solid rookie campaign. That being said, I have seen in the past where he doesn't really get too high of an overall. Doesn't always put up the best numbers, but we will figure it out. Terrence Ross, I have no idea how they have not traded this man at this point. I honestly kind of feel bad for him. Final year of his deal, he's probably not even going to play for us, because the way I'm going to do this is I'm actually going to move Isaac to be the new backup small forward. And then what we're going to do from there, obviously Paolo Banchero is going to go ahead, take over all the starting power for minutes. That being, I know Jonathan Isaac's been injured. I know he hasn't really actually been playing, but and then we do have Chuma Okeke, who's 24 years old versus Terrence Ross is 31, and he can be the backup here to Paolo Banchero, our #1 overall draft pick. I cannot believe that Bol Bol is actually on an NBA roster. It's fun. It's a meme. He's really not a good basketball player, but I do like the guy. Wendell Carter Jr., honestly, a really steal of a deal. Like, that's really cheap money for how good he ends up being in these videos. I'm excited to have him. Mo Bamba surprisingly stayed with this team. I thought he was going to go elsewhere, decided not to. And then Mo Wagner as well, obviously, I believe the brother, correct, of Franz Wagner? I believe they're brothers. If not, I'm like 95% positive they're brothers. Let's go ahead and set the rotation before the start of year #1. So here's how the team's looking. I kind of crafted it the way that I think is going to work out best in this video. I'm not exactly sure 100% of what the Orlando Magic's actual starting 5 will look like, but here's how we're doing it today. Cole Anthony, Jalen Suggs, Franz Wagner, Paolo Banchero, and Wendell Carter Jr. is how it's going to look. I think this is the starting 5 that not only gives us maybe the best chance to kind of win this year and compete. That being said, we're still probably not a playoff team, but it's going to hopefully lead us to the best progression for all the guys that I hope are going to turn out to be absolute studs for us. The bench unit, Jonathan Isaac, we don't play with injuries on. He's going to be anchoring that second unit as their backup small forward, provides a lot of defense, typically wins the Defensive Player of the Year or two in these videos. That being said, him coming off the bench will probably not help his case, but we'll work with it. Markelle Fultz will then be the backup point guard behind Cole Anthony, 18 minutes a night, Mo Bamba, RJ Hampton, and Chuma Okeke. So we're already starting off on a pretty good note with all the young talent. Yeah, on top of that, this is honestly a really good and really deep bench because you got guys like Terrence Ross and Mo Wagner just honestly not even getting minutes, and it kind of sucks. I think they maybe could go ahead and obviously contribute a little bit. I'm actually going to send Caleb Houston to the G League. But I don't know. I feel like having these guys on the bench and not like trading them, especially for expiring deals like a Terrence Ross, kind of a waste, but I'm not going to make a trade that I don't know 100% the Magic would make. So that being said, this is how the team's going to look for year number one. Probably still not a playoff team, but hopefully a good developmental year and another high draft pick. I will see you guys at the end of year one. So to wrap up the first season, there are two very non-shocking things. The first being that we were not a playoff team. We were actually second to last here in the East. Hopefully translates into a good pick. And second being Luka Doncic won an MVP award. It doesn't count because it wasn't a triple-double. You all know my rule by now. Chet Holmgren, Rookie of the Year. I don't know what happened. It's obviously has something to do with the progression sliders that I obviously changed. Didn't even realize last video. But I don't know if you guys watched it. The Jalen Duren actually won Rookie of the Year last year. One coming off the bench, and two averaged, I believe, around 22, 23 points and around 16 rebounds, which was absolutely nuts. Completely threw me off. That being said, this is a much more realistic stat line, albeit a really good one. Maybe not 100% feasible, but really a lot more accurate than what we saw with Jalen Duren in yesterday's video. But congrats to Chet Holmgren nonetheless. And oh boy, here we go. You know, I say one thing and I think everything's fixed, and then something like this happens. Honestly, I'm actually going to go back and just see. All right, so there wasn't anything crazy. So Duren's numbers were honestly fine. So I don't know what's going on with Kelly Olynyk. But, oh boy. Giannis wins Defensive Player of the Year. Bones Highland, Most Improved. Ime Udoka, Coach of the Year. The Celtics do go 63-19. I would very much like that in real life, unfortunately. Probably not going to be a 63-win team, but they're still a very talented team. Let's see how bad we were. We go 29-53. So we are currently, wow, the Spurs were fucking horrible. Oh, wow. All right, so, I mean, this is an accurate, updated file, so they obviously made a trade to acquire Gordon Hayward in the middle of the season at some point, but my lord, is that team fucking awful. So we're currently projecting around the fourth-ish pick, fourth, fifth, actually, no, we're deeper than that. We're around the fifth or sixth pick, actually, with the Lakers sucking. I just don't get how this team always ends up being so bad. Like, I don't play with injuries on. The Lakers, let's be honest with each other right now. If the Lakers were never injured, LeBron plays 82 games. I know 82 games never actually happens for anybody. AD plays 82 games because in this hypothetical, the Lakers are a playoff team. I mean, I don't know how they suck in every single one of these videos. It's just weird. The Celtics get a little bit of redemption, albeit not on the Warriors. And Jason Tatum, huge bounce-back finals for the young GOAT, does go on to win his first career finals MVP as the Celtics beat the Pelicans in 7 games. So let's hit the offseason. Our first one here with this team. I think we've got a lot of options, a lot of flexibility, and hopefully a really high draft pick. Maybe we'll get a little bit lucky in the lottery. So let's see what happens here. We end up actually falling to number 8. It's exactly what I needed today, 2K. Definitely. Good God. Jamal Mosley is our head coach. I'm not going to be moving on from him, albeit his ratings are kind of fucking ass, if for lack of a better term. I mean, I think that's a little bit disrespectful, if I'm being honest. I don't think Jamal Mosley is like in the top tier of head coaches, but those ratings, I would say, are a little bit disrespectful for any NBA head coach. Maybe besides like George Karl at one point in time. But yeah, 8th overall pick. We have a lot of moves that we could make with this team and a decent amount of flexibility. I'm in the mood maybe to make potentially a big trade. If not, maybe move up in the draft. I mean, I know I don't really need a new starter. I like Wendell Carter Jr. a lot. Victor Wembanyama is an option. He's probably not somebody I'm going to actually go all out of my way to trade for right now, just because, one, I do get him a lot, and two, I really love the contract here for Wendell Carter Jr. So, but we definitely could have another move in mind. I don't know necessarily what it's going to be, but let's see what we can come up with. So I decided we're actually just going to draft somebody. I think with a 5-year rebuild, we can be a little bit more patient. We can kind of go ahead and see if we can develop this team before we kind of go ahead, make somewhat of a crazy move and trade for a star or something like that, who's definitely a lot older, whoever we would be trading for. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to keep the 8th overall pick. I'm not going to be drafting anybody at 22 or 6 in round 2. I think we have enough young talent on this team where that's really not necessary. This Bulls pick somehow is always valuable, but honestly, this Bulls team doesn't really suck. So I'm really not like going to go out of my way to maybe trade for that pick. However, the Suns are a team that typically tends to suck, and God knows why, because they have so much talent. Knowing my luck, they'll honestly, like, look at this. They said the 4th overall pick. Knowing my luck, that'll probably mean they'll turn into like a top 3 seed. Just kind of the way my chances in these rebuilds always go. But we have their unprotected first-round pick next year. They have the 4th overall pick this year. We only have to include 2 other second-round picks. Seems like a deal I'm making 10 times out of 10. So we do have the 8th overall pick. Let's see who's sitting on the board for us here at number 8. Positionally and need-wise, there's really not a ton. I mean, we had a full 10-man rotation plus, and we really don't need anybody. But let's see who's available here for us. We got Dylan Mitchell, Anthony Black, who I have drafted before, Tyrese Proctor. So we know a guy like Dylan Mitchell's already a 77 overall. And the reason I may be leaning towards somebody like that is strictly based off the fact that I don't know if I want to pay Jonathan Isaac all that money. A lot of these guys who were drafted in 2020, 2021 are eventually going to need new contracts. Jonathan Isaac, look, hell of a defensive player. Well, obviously, I don't have injuries on in here. I don't really think I can get his full potential out of him coming off the bench, and I'm still very comfortable with Franz Wagner, at least for now. Did I show you guys stats last year? I don't even think I showed you guys stats. Holy shit, how did I miss that? Dylan Mitchell's going to be my pick. I'm going to see if I can even still access the stats. How did that kind of skip my mind? I have no idea. Can I see stats still? Okay, I can. I don't know how I just blew right by that. My bad. Wagner, Cole Anthony, Banchero, solid rookie season. I mean, seriously, it's like I have like a routine in rebuilds. Like I always do the same thing over and over and over. It's like, honestly, it's like muscle memory at this point. I don't know how I skipped it, so I apologize. But obviously, Franz Wagner was our leading scorer. Really solid season for us here, second season. It was technically sophomore year, if you want to call it that. But he's not going anywhere, and I think a guy maybe like Jonathan Isaac could. So Dylan Mitchell's actually 76 overall, meaning Jonathan Isaac's definitely a guy that we can maybe throw in the trade finder right now. Maybe could acquire a valuable pick for him. I know the Thunder obviously have a lot of draft picks. And let's see what we can come up with now. Terrence Ross is our one free agent. We're going to let him go. We really don't need Terrence Ross on this team anymore. We don't really have any money, but, I mean, honestly, I'm fine with that. I mean, our young core is still here and still developing, and I'm honestly very, very fine with that. So, Gary Harris, I'm getting that deal off the team. I'm going to get a first-round pick for him. Along with that, I'll probably get one for Jonathan Isaac as well. Honestly, Bol too. I don't need him at all. So let's make some trades. I'll show you guys whatever I come up with. So the Thunder own both the Houston Rockets and their own unprotected first in next year's draft. I just went over both the rosters, and neither of the rosters are really that good. If we take a look at how good the Thunder are, this is kind of the squad they have. And look, there's again, similar to us, maybe a little bit more here. A lot of young talent. Progression's obviously going to kick in. I'd rather take advantage of that as early as possible, or maybe we can get a pick in the top 10. On top of that, we take a look at the Rockets roster. Also a really good squad. Also a team that'll probably be in the lottery next season. So if I can get that for a guy like Jonathan Isaac, who was a bench piece for us, I'm doing that 10 times out of 10. They have a counteroffer. They want RJ Hampton, which is understandable. I didn't think they were just going to take that straight up. I'd probably be willing to give up my first in 2025. I think we'll be a solid team by that point. I'd be a lot more comfortable giving up our 2025 versus our 2024. So we'll have 4 unprotected first-round picks next year, which is obviously an awesome way to kind of start a rebuild. They still want RJ Hampton. Are you interested in Gary Harris by any means? Is that a possibility? They can't afford it. Are you interested in maybe Bol? They want 2 seconds, and they'll give me a Clippers first in 2026. Sometimes they end up sucking too. 10 times out of 10, I'm doing that deal. We now have 4 unprotected first-round picks heading into our second offseason, and we're in a really good spot right now. So I'm going to go ahead and now get a first-round pick for Gary Harris. Caleb Houston, I'll see what I can get for him. I mean, honestly, he's never going to be able to crack this rotation or progress to the point where I would want him to crack this rotation. As you can see, he's also displeased he's been coming off the bench. But those are my only 2 other moves, and again, this core is kind of still intact. I mean, honestly, I hate to kind of say it. Jonathan Isaac has been injured. He's really not a member of the Magic's young core. I wouldn't really consider him one, but so he's gone now. And again, I know a lot of you are probably sitting there saying, why are you trading a guy who wins at least one defense? Oh my God. The Lakers sometimes end up sucking too. Can I get their unprotected first in 2025? Is that possible? Sign me up. I don't know what's going on today. Everything's kind of coming out, and it's working out very, very well. Caleb Houston, I just really feel like I don't need him. I really do. Maybe that's a Minnesota pick. I thought it was a Jazz pick at first. I was like, they might suck. The Thunder will be good by then. Sorry, I know I'm taking... Oh, it's an Atlanta pick. Anyway, we can get the Spurs pick next year? You want Caleb Houston for it? No, they want our... Whoa. Now this, I might consider. Strictly based off the fact that, one, RJ Hampton, is he coming into a contract year? Yeah, he is. Okay, now this is a deal I might consider because I don't think RJ Hampton really puts this team over the edge. we're going to do this deal. That's an unprotected. We now have 5 unprotected first-round picks next year, setting us up beautifully, whether we want to make a trade or we want to draft an absolute stud, whatever it may be. We have the unprotected Spurs, Rockets, Suns, Thunder, and our own first-round pick in the 2024 draft. At least 2 or 3 of those have to probably be top 10 picks. You would like to think, maybe more, but we will see. We definitely now need to find a new backup shooting guard, as I did go ahead and trade RJ Hampton. I'm sorry, Magic fans, if I have any of you watching this video. Honestly, I would hope you would kind of be okay with that deal that I just made. It looks like player progression is still a little broken as Reggie Jackson, 83 overall. Yeah, a lot of these guys' overall is definitely still broken. Somehow it's going to let me, I actually have cap space. That's why I can afford them. I'm like, I don't have cap space. I actually do. I have $38 million to play with. I'm not going to give Tyler Hero a contract. I just really don't feel like that's something that I really want to do, especially compete with that Miami Heat offer. But there's definitely options here for us. Maybe I don't want anybody good that's going to like take minutes away from the progression. But maybe a guy like a Terrence Davis. I'll give you a 2-year deal worth about $11.5 million a year. Well, that's 100% fine by me. He's officially a member of the Orlando Magic. Will be the backup point guard. And we'll probably be getting decent minutes behind Jalen Suggs. This team is, it might have gotten a little bit worse, but I think between progression and all the picks we have, I'm really looking forward to next season, especially next offseason. I'll see you guys in the rotation at the start of year 2. You can call me crazy. I think this team has the potential to maybe even sneak into the play-in. I'm not saying we're going to be one of the top seeds here in the East, but I think maybe a 7, 8, 9, 10 seed isn't the craziest thing in the world. We'll see what ends up happening, but here's how it's going to look. Cole Anthony, Jalen Suggs, Franz Wagner, Paolo, Banchero, and Wendell Carter Jr. The minutes in the starting 5 are obviously very evenly allocated. You got everybody playing 33 except for Paolo Banchero, who, again, really trying to untap that level of potential. Markelle Fultz and Mo Bamba are both not happy, even though it says they're happy, which is interesting. But, yeah, they're going to be coming off the bench as our 6th and 7th man, followed by Terrence Davis, our free agent signing, Dylan Mitchell. Our number, 8 overall draft pick? Yes, it was. And then Chuma Okeke backing up Mr. Banchero. I think this team's in a good spot. Let's see what happens. I'll see you guys at the end of year 2. I like to admit when I was wrong, and this time I was, very wrong. We did not sneak into the play-in, and, we weren't really even close, as we are once again the 14th seed here in the East, and once again Luka won an MVP. So, a lot of deja vu. Dariq Whitehead, Rookie of the Year. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. He was the 6th overall draft pick. Congrats, James Harden. I don't know what's up with this. Second time I've used this shared file. Second time he's gone back to Houston. So, that probably hurt the draft pick we got from them. Or, well, we got it from Oklahoma City, but you know what I mean. Giannis wins Defensive Player of the Year. Wendell Moore, Most Improved. Willie Green, Coach of the Year. Thank God I didn't get a Pelicans pick. All right. So, we finished with a fat record. Of 24 and 58. So we currently have this. We have the number 1 odds for the number 1 overall pick, which is good. Thank God I did not trade my pick this year. Banchero leads us in scoring. Thank God I remembered to show the stats this year. Followed by Cole Anthony, Franz Wagner, Markelle Fultz. Honestly, not too bad. He could be a really good option for a different team if maybe they're giving him maybe starter minutes, but I just don't think he's going to find that role here. Wendell Carter Jr., Jalen Suggs, who typically progresses a lot. Well, he's up to an 85. Just the numbers really aren't showing it. Like, I've seen him average like 25 points a game. I really have. Mo Bamba, Terrence Davis, Dylan Mitchell, yes. And Chuma Okeke. Do we have anybody else here? Good old Isaiah Thomas. Good God. Rebounds was led by Wendell Carter Jr. and assists was Jalen Suggs. So, we're obviously not in the playoffs. We really don't have to worry about that. It's kind of unfortunate the Houston Rockets are in the playoffs. And the Thunder are. We had both their picks. Kind of a swift kick in the balls. I kind of just gave them Jonathan Isaac for nothing at that point. Wait, what? Who did... Okay, because I could have sworn I saw Russ, I saw his name, and I don't know why I assumed maybe the Lakers somehow won. But no, Russell Westbrook joins the fucking Warriors, is getting paid real money, and somehow won a Finals MVP. Now that is a little bit insane. What did you do to trade them? Did you trade like Klay Thompson? Or Draymond? They must have. They must have traded both those guys. There's some variation of that. They had a rematch between the Celtics. I have no idea what the hell I'm looking. I watched. I honestly don't. Let's hit the draft lottery because this is obviously a very important lottery for us. We are currently. Oh my God! So the Spurs pick, our pick, and the Suns pick appear they're all going to work out for us. Hopefully, beautifully. I want the number 1 overall pick. We get it. We also have the pick at 5 and 6, so we do fall a little bit. But number 1 from the Phoenix Suns. They always suck. I should have known it, and today I did. Wow, the Heat suck too. That's a surprise. I just did a Heat rebuild. They really weren't that bad. I'm going to keep Jamal Mosley. Those ratings are going up a bit on the defensive end anyways. might not retain him after the season if it's not such a good year, because we have a lot of draft picks and we're definitely in the mood to go ahead and make a big trade. We obviously do not need all of these picks. If we look at this prospect, wrong button. If we look at this draft class, this is the Xavier Booker draft class, where honestly I might draft him. This dude turns into an absolute monster. Again, I know you can make the argument, why didn't you just draft Victor Wembanyama last year and maybe trade up for him? Well, I could have, but you know, I get him a decent amount. Do I have 100% scouting on everybody? No, my scouting department is whoa. I don't think I've ever seen like this many overalls just like unlocked. Do I have like a really good scouting department? Yeah, I'm just honestly interested in this at this point. I must. I mean, I don't know who these dudes are, obviously, but you know, it seems like they know what they're doing. That being said, we're going to take Xavier Booker number 1 overall. I think I maybe could include Wendell Carter Jr., who doesn't seem happy here. God knows why, but let's make a trade. I did it, and it was way too much. I know I knew it was going to go through, and I didn't want to do it, but yeah, I did it. Trae Young's on this team. That's definitely our big move. That's a shit ton for Trae Young. We still kept the number 1 overall pick, but we gave up every other draft pick we had, and Trae Young's officially here. Honestly, I kind of feel bad because I like Cole Anthony. He's been playing well for us, but this team just needed like a star. They really did. So Trae Young's going to come in here. He's going to be that star for us. Xavier Booker's going to be our number 1 overall draft pick. He's going to be probably our starting center for the remainder of the video. Our front court, obviously, is still super young with him and Paolo Banchero. But, yeah, that was a lot. That was a huge-ass trade. And now I got to figure out what I'm going to do. Because, obviously, Cole Anthony's now a free agent. I'm not just going to let him go. But I don't know if maybe I throw him in a trade and try to improve, like... Do I try to upgrade the starting shooting guard spot? Like, Jalen Suggs is an 85 overall, albeit his numbers really aren't that good. I'm fine with Wagner. I think he's playing well. Dylan Mitchell I'm comfortable with. Obviously, Banchero, Xavier Booker. So, like, the odd man out's kind of Jalen Suggs. And, like, that sucks because I don't want to trade him. But, like, I don't know. I'll give it another year, and I'll sit on it, and I'll think about it. Sit on it. I'll sleep on it, kind of, I guess. I'm going to trade Markelle Fultz. That's definitely going to be happening. And then I'm going to wait on Cole Anthony, and I'm going to wait on Chuma Okeke because I'm going to give them both real offers. So, yeah, I'm still very torn. I don't necessarily know 100% what I want to do with this team. Obviously, we just traded for one of the best young players in the league, and Cole Anthony's also requiring just about over $20 million a year, almost a $100 million contract. So, I don't necessarily love giving my backup point guard $100 million deals. But something's got to change, I think. And, yeah, we'll see. I mean, are either of these guys really going to be... Like, can I maybe move Cole Anthony to the shooting guard spot? Like, he goes, no, I don't want to do that. I think if I'm going to trade for a shooting guard, I want it to be a huge upgrade. Like, I really think that's kind of the way to go about this right now. So, yeah, let's just see what we can kind of come up with. Did I include Mo Bamba in that deal? Did I? Wait, where'd Mo Bamba go? Did I trade him? Or is he still a free agent? Wait a minute. I must have traded him. Wait, no, he's still here. Oh. I have no idea. I was like, where the hell did Mo Bamba go? All right, Mo Bamba's still here. He's going to come back. I'm still going to go ahead and start Xavier Booker. He's actually an 81 overall. He's the number 1 overall pick. He's 100% going to start for us. So, that being said, I still think I'm going to go ahead and make a move. I don't know what it's going to be yet, though. I'll let you guys see it. I honestly got stuck. I just couldn't find a trade that I really liked, so this is how it's going to look. It's going to be a 10-man rotation. Trae Young, obviously our huge our huge addition via trade, going to be the point guard for the remainder of this video. Fultz is backing him up. I'm going to give the start to Jalen Suggs, give him the nod, if you will. He's obviously... I mean, I don't want to say he's been playing well for us, because like he really hasn't been, but like he hasn't been horrible. I've just seen this guy progress so much more. That's why I'm kind of a little bit holding out, a little reluctant to kind of include him in a deal. I moved Cole Anthony, who's now getting paid $100 million to come off the bench to the backup shooting guard spot. He's obviously more of a point guard, but he's going to run that role for at least a season. Franz Wagner, Dylan Mitchell, Paolo Banchero, Chuma Okeke, and then it's Xavier Booker. Number 1 overall draft pick in Mo Bamba. All right, this is the squad. It's an interesting-looking team. I'll see you guys at the start of year 3. So we just acquired Trae Young, one of the best young players in the entirety of the league, and I'm super excited to see how he ends up doing here in his first season in Orlando. I feel like I kind of shot down how excited I am for this team just because I didn't know what to do with the Fultzes and the Anthonys and the Suggses. Like, I just didn't know what moves I wanted to make. Ultimately, I kind of stood pat besides the Trae Young deal, and we're going to see how this one ultimately works itself out. And obviously, this is not going to be the team for the remainder of the video. Something will change. But I'm excited to see how it does work out. So Trae Young, Jalen Suggs going to be the new backcourt. Well, new backcourt, just kind of Trae Young. Franz Wagner, who's been solid for us. Paolo Banchero, hopefully continuing to take that next step in the number 1 overall draft pick. Xavier Booker out of Michigan State. 7 foot tall, 215 pounds. Man looks like a monster. Fultz will be the 6th man, followed by Cole Anthony, Mo Bamba, Dylan Mitchell, and then Chuma Okeke. So the bench actually probably got a little bit better now that Cole Anthony moved to that bench. So I'm excited to see what happens. This is definitely a playoff team at this point. I'll see you guys at the end of year 3. I will say this. It's like a little bit weird to see like Paul George winning MVPs just based off the fact I'm so used to him typically just regressing so hard. I don't know if I prefer him being a 95. Look, Paul George is an unbelievable basketball player and obviously has had an unbelievable career. That being said, his overall shouldn't really be going up too much, and he probably is not at the point in his career where he's averaging just under 30 points a game. I mean, this was the year he was, top 3 in MVP voting? I think he finished 3rd or whatever it was, but, like, I don't know. I don't think this is necessarily the most realistic numbers. I'm not saying this is a realistic rebuild or anything, but congrats to PG. I'm happy to see the man get an MVP. Xavier Booker does win Rookie of the Year for us. 15 points a game, 9 rebounds. Also, we were a 3 seed here in the East. Forgot to mention that. I've been forgetting some things today. Russell Westbrook, who just won a Finals MVP, I believe, unless I was like making that up and I just missed it, won a Finals MVP. I mean, is there a way I can check that? There definitely is. I just want to make sure that I saw this. So yeah, he won a championship. I'm like, it doesn't let me see, Finals MVP stuff here, but right, it didn't. Yeah, no. But I'm like 95% positive he won Finals MVP. Giannis wins, I believe, the 3rd straight DPOY. Keegan Murray, most improved for the Sacramento Kings. Steve Kerr, Coach of the Year. Update the goddamn pose. Dude's been doing this same thing since like 2K15. I'm getting sick of it. I'm pretty sure everybody else is as well. So let's check on the standings. We are finally positive, albeit not at 50 wins. We go 48-34, but we're hopefully eventually going to become a problem here in the Eastern Conference. Let's take a look at the numbers on the season. Trae Young leads us in scoring, albeit a little bit lower, but this team, it is really spread out the scoring, so we'll figure out it eventually. I mean, obviously, this isn't his 24, 25, 27, 28-point game, whatever it may be, or season, I mean. Still a really good season for Trae Young. Paolo Banchero, double-double. Really excited to see him turning into the monster we all know he can be. Franz Wagner, Xavier Booker, obviously just won Rookie of the Year for us. Fultz. Jalen Suggs, I don't know what's up with this dude. You can see his overall continues to progress. And look, I'm not sitting here telling you I'm expecting, like, Paul George MVP numbers that you just saw out of Jalen Suggs, but, like, you got to average more than Fultz who's coming off the bench, dude. Like, you got to give me something. Like, I know he's better in the rebounds and the assist department, but, like, goddamn, like, I don't know, man. There's something off about this shared file. There really is. I greatly appreciate somebody commenting it, but something a little off. All right, here to the Bulls. As you can see, DeMar DeRozan also not regressing. So, yeah, he's actually going up in overalls at the age of 35. Albeit, I mean, he's not having a crazy, unrealistic season statistically. Holy fucking depth. But yeah, him going up in overalls is also a little bit crazy. I don't necessarily, I wouldn't be mad if DeMar was like a 90, 91 overall. Are we about to blow a 3-0 lead? Were we up 3-0? Oh my god, well that's just a swift kick in the fucking dick. I mean, what in the world? What is going on? Okay, there's got to be something chalked about this shared file. I mean, Anthony Edwards is a hell of a basketball player. But 40 fucking points? Who are you, Michael fucking Jordan? I mean, what in the world is going on? And that wasn't like in 4 games. Like, look, it would be crazy if you did that in 4 games. Never mind 7. But, like, I can kind of get it a little bit more for 4 games. Like, dude, balls the fuck out. Like, 4 straight games. But in 7 games, so you're telling me some games, that dude probably put up, like, 50 fucking points and then probably put up, like, 30 points some night. Like, that's just a little crazy here. But congrats to him. Congrats to the Timberwolves. We're heading into year 4 in our 3rd offseason. I think I'm probably in the mood to make another trade, maybe a little bit on the bigger side. I believe that Denver pick has a lottery protection on it. No, it does not actually. We're at number 13. It's going to be in a trade, whatever we do. I'm not going to bring back Jamal Mosley. I don't think his ratings are good enough. We're just going to get blocked if I try to sign Stauffer. Monty Williams is here. Honestly, his offensive and defensive ratings aren't horrible, so I'll give him a go. We'll bring in Monty Williams here, going to be our new head coach. Yeah, won Coach of the Year with the Suns, I believe, correct? I think so, anyways. All right, 13, 18, and 20, and 27 in round number 2. We're going to make some sort of trade. I got to do something here. We're going to try to get Shai Gilgeous-Alexander here from the Oklahoma City Thunder. Look, it's not a shot at Jalen Suggs. He just really hasn't been playing good. and it sucks because I wanted to keep him throughout the whole video. I think him and Trae Young would have been a sick backcourt, but it didn't work out. And so this is what I'm going to offer. That was the 13th overall pick that we had this year. We move on from Cole Anthony and Markelle Fultz, who are honestly both really good pieces for us. It's just because Jalen Suggs is a free agent, so I couldn't throw him in the deal. That being said, I'm not draft. Actually, I might draft somebody at number 18. Hold your horses. That's such a dad phrase. I don't really know why I use that, but we'll draft somebody. Let's just see who's available for us here, because we potentially could be in the market for a new backup shooting guard. Just because I'm not going to keep an 88 overall who's probably asking for $100+ million as a backup. I know he just technically kind of did it with Cole Anthony for a season, but I don't really want to do it again. You are 6'8", so yeah, you're really not a shooting guard, Cam Scott, but you honestly might be my guy. Bryson Tucker is 6'9", more of a power forward, it looks like, and kind of similar here with Andrej Stojakovic. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. There's really just not any shooting guards here. There's really not. And besides Marvel Allen, who's a C rated player. So I'm going to honestly take Cam Scott. He is 6'8", so that is obviously tall for a shooting guard, but he's a 77 overall. So I might go down an overall or two when we do end up moving him to the shooting guard spot. Goes down to a 76. Not the end of the world for me. So that being said, we are probably in the market to sign Jalen Suggs and then trade Jalen Suggs. I have no idea what that would be for. Franz Wagner, also free agent. Devin Dotson, not a chance in hell. But Jalen Suggs is not going to be here. He's just going to ask for way too much money. I don't really see a reason for keeping an 87 overall coming off the bench. So we will wait on them. Obviously, we're going to go ahead and bring both these guys back on real contracts, and then we'll kind of move on from there and end up seeing what ends up happening in the trade department. What? Jesus fucking Christ, LeBron. Call it a career already, man. I mean, good Lord. All right, Suggs coming back. Hopefully Wagner coming back as well. I mean, yeah, that's $30+ million a year for. I cannot believe the man's averaging 10 fucking points a game. I cannot believe you just turned down $174 million for 2 days in a row. Who's giving you more money than that? Welcome back, both of you. Let's make a trade. This is probably one of the dumbest fucking things I've ever done in my life. We're trading for Kyrie Irving, who's getting paid $50 million a season. But we're going to do it, and you might be saying, well, you know, you have Trae Young, and you have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, but, well, I mean, I can't even believe I'm doing that. If I really wish Jalen Suggs didn't, you know, have such a low overall. Yeah, so this is weird. I'm moving Shai to the small forward spot. I'm actually going to have his backup be a point guard, funny enough, and then, yeah, so I'm probably would prefer to maybe move, like, Trae actually goes to an 88, Kyrie only goes to a 90. I guess I'll play Kyrie. I mean, this is just completely weird, and I've never honestly built a team like this, but the reason I'm doing it is mostly just because I think having this big three here is like basically a guaranteed championship on top of having Paolo Banchero and Xavier Booker. So I do not need both of these guys. Whose numbers are better? 8 and 5 versus, I mean, obviously minutes matter, but I'll trade Chuma Okeke. Maybe I can get a first-round pick. I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. I'm doing something that I've haven't never even in my life really done before. Is Amir Coffee making $0? What? All right, this shared file is completely broken. If anybody has a good shared file, let me know. I will see you guys at the start of, year 4. Much new looking team. I will be the first to say, I don't know if I've ever had a team built like this, and it's very weird. And Magic fans, if you're watching and you're mad at me because I just blew up your young core, that was honestly probably going to be really good by this point. Anyways, I do apologize. That being said, I mean, look at this team. Trae Young, Kyrie Irving, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Basically 3 point guards in the starting lineup. It's absolutely bonkers, I know. We're trying it out, though. Paolo Banchero and then Xavier Booker. Bench unit, Dylan Mitchell, Mo Bamba, Kenyon Martin Jr., and Cam Scott. Let's see what happens. It's a 9-man rotation now. I'll see you guys at the end of year 4. Luka took a year off from MVPs last season, was nice enough to give one to Paul George, and then just immediately took it back. That being said, I care a lot more about us being the 1 seed here in the East, and that is something that we were fortunately able to do. Also number 1 in the power rankings. I don't really care, though, if we don't win a championship. Nasir Cunningham, Rookie of the Year. Isaiah Jackson, 6th man. Giannis, that's definitely his 4th straight depoy. Matas Buzelis. I have no idea. I honestly, I don't know. Willie Green, Coach of the Year. So it looks like the Pelicans are still kind of running things. We doubt we got 60-plus wins. But we did get 58, and that's honestly a huge improvement. I think we won, 48 last year? I can't even check right now. But whatever it was not near 58 wins, and I'm super happy about that. Numbers on the year for our big 3, actually. I kind of want to, I feel like I should include Paolo Banchero in that conversation as well. Honestly, this starting 5 was really impressive. I'm really happy with all those numbers right there. Dylan Mitchell, Mo Bamba, Cam Scott, and Kenyon Martin Jr. rounded out the bench unit for us. Rebounds was led by Mr. Banchero, and assist was Trae Young. All right, so it's in the plan. We got the 76ers, and I thought he was gone for a sec. MVP Paul George and Joel Embiid. It's like kind of criminal that like a guy from the Sixers finally won an MVP and it just wasn't Joel Embiid. I think he's coming now second probably pretty much every single fucking season. We're up 3-0 though. I don't know how we just swept that team. That team's absolutely insane, but we did it. Cavs here. Garland, LeVert. Yes, like here's where things, yeah, it's still obviously broken. Kind of sucks, man. I really like having a shared file with everything up to date, like every single team, not just the team I'm typically controlling. But like, I don't really want to. Let me know. Can you guys let me know in the comment section? Would you prefer having a shared file with everything fully up to date, like this one, but player progression's a little bit broken? Although I've changed every setting now, and I just still don't know how it's broken because like Harris LeVert's not an 87 overall. Or would you just prefer me going back to the old one that I'm doing and I just update my team pretty much every single time? I'd appreciate it if you let me know in the comment section. Just because obviously I get people probably going to have differing opinions, but I don't really care either way. I think I can still build good teams either way. It's kind of funny, honestly, to see some of these guys with like crazy-ass overalls, like Draymond being an 86 at this point in his career, albeit his stats don't really change. They really don't. So it looks like it really is a lot of the overalls just kind of changing. Nothing really in the stats. If anybody knows why that is, feel free to let me know. I'd greatly appreciate it. But yeah, let me know what you prefer on the whole roster thing. We're in the finals. And of course, we got the Pelicans here. Oh, baby. Oh, you added Donovan Mitchell and you have Victor Wembanyama. You have John Oh, goody. Fucking sick. Oh, boy. Yeah, we're not going to beat this team, are we? All right, maybe we are. Oh, no. I can't hop in because I don't want to risk the glitch exiting. Oh my god, my life is just straight pain and suffering. Like, nothing fucking changes. I don't even know what to do. I'm not going to change the core. I mean, we just got to the finals. Did I see a Magic logo just flash there? Yeah, that Utah pick. I actually think that was unprotected. Oh, good. The Pelicans have another draft pick. That's awesome. We do have the 13th overall pick via the Utah Jazz. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to keep Monty Williams. I think his ratings are fine enough where I really don't have to change anything. So, yeah, if we don't win a championship, this is a big fat L on my part, and I will take full responsibility, obviously, as I'm quite literally the only one who could take responsibility. But let's just see. Ooh, now this is intriguing. I like Patrick Williams a lot. I really do. I'm a big Patrick Williams fan. That being said, I do have to, like, this is crazy. I do have to see what kind of the rest. Ooh, Jordan Poole. Maybe could kind of be our one combo guard off the bench. He's making $34 million, though. Honestly, if I do that deal, there's going to have to be a lot of things to kind of work out then. Because Kyrie's a free agent. Banchero is, I can give him his qualifying. You have a team option. I'm actually going to do this deal. We're going to pull the trigger on that, and that's a deal. We have no more picks. Because the way I'm going to do it is, yeah, okay, so Kyrie declines a $52 fucking million option, which is sick. Banchero, I can give the qualifying offer to. I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about paying Kyrie. Hopefully he can accept that. And then Banchero's restricted, so I can just give him that. If this works out, that'll be absolutely insane. I have no idea if it's going to, but I like kind of really need it to. It's an 18, so it's not a cheap qualifying. Oh my god, we got it to go through. It's not a cheap qualifying offer at all. Is that still LeBron there? Oh my god. I mean, he's not, like, playing bad or anything, but, like, good lord, you're 41. He typically retires by that point. So the way this is going to work is I'm going to probably just trade yeah, I'm going to go with a 9-man rotation. I think it works better, honestly. Cam Scott's going to get me some sort of new backup power forward. Actually, I'll sign somebody first. Do I still have a mid-level exception? I actually kind of do, funny enough. I think I do. Sure, I'll bring in Rex Hall, and I'll throw you in a trade. I cannot believe the way this rebuild honestly kind of turned out. I mean, this is obviously an insane team. Holland and Scott are going to get moved. I know we just drafted Scott, and it wasn't like he was bad or anything, but this is just the final season here for us. So, like, is Obi Toppin really the answer? Omaha, Biliu, 7.5 and 3.5. This isn't horrible. Anthony Black, we sometimes have drafted him in the past. I don't really love any of these trades. Sean Stewart. 11 and 5, I can live with that. We also get Arthur Kaluma here, who's another power forward, 8 and 4. I'll just take them both, and one of them will play. It doesn't really matter. All right, this is the squad. We're obviously going to have Jordan Poole coming off the bench. It's kind of a combo guard for us, backing up both Kyrie and Trae Young. So I got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander starting at the small forward spot. It's a very interesting team. And I'll see you guys at the start of year 5. It is officially championship or bust for us here in Orlando. I kind of started out this video by saying this team has a great young core. I might make a couple big trades. It turned into me kind of getting carried away. And, yeah, this is how it's looking. Trae Young, Kyrie Irving, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. So basically 3-point guards in our starting lineup. Paolo Banchero, kind of the only, I guess Mo Bamba too, kind of the only other core guy that's kind of remained here. Xavier Booker, Jordan Poole, Mo Bamba, Dylan Mitchell, and Sean Stewart. This is the squad. It's a 9-man rotation. Let's see if it works. I'll catch you guys at the end of the 5th and final season. Year 5 is officially over. We are the 1 seed for the 2nd straight year here in the Eastern Conference. Also the number 1 seed in the power rankings. LaMelo Ball gets that MVP award. Cameron Boozer, Rookie of the Year. Jerry Easter, the 2nd. 6th man, Giannis, 5th straight depoy. Cam Scott, most improved. That typically happens when you trade a guy. Monty Williams, we win 66 games this year. So, you know, you would think we'd hopefully be title favorites. And, yeah, Pelicans still going to be on our way. But I'm going to be disappointed if we end this video with no titles, just because of the way I kind of constructed this team. I don't want to sit here and, I mean, I will be honest, I did kind of blow up the team. But, you know, I'm still fine with our move. Maybe not so fine if it doesn't work out. But let's see. This is a good Indiana Pacers team. I think we're better, but it's a good team, especially as a play-in team, and we're down 2-1. If my greatest accomplishment in this video is just getting to the finals, that being last year, I'm going to be disappointed. This is the team that actually... No, they didn't beat us. We beat them. Wait. No, I didn't get to the finals last year. Never mind. What the fuck am I saying? I don't know why I thought I got to the... Oh, shit. Oh, shit. All right. I'm pretty sure the Hornets were the... I'm, like, losing my fucking mind already somehow. Yes, we have not won a finals, obviously. Wow, the Celtics somehow added Jamal Murray. I have no idea how they had the money to do that. Well, that's how. Why do guys not want to do that for me when I make absolute god squads? So Jamal Murray's basically playing for handshakes at this point, but that's absolutely crazy. We're up 3-0. We sweep them as well. Only team we've lost a game to so far is the Indiana Pacers. Pelicans get bounced in the first round. A little bit of a relief. I didn't even notice that, but we got the Spurs now. CJ McCollum, who's an 89 overall, Isaiah Loheim, Anthony Black, Keldon Johnson. We're just better. I really do think we're just a way better squad than this, and I'd like to get some gameplay with this team. Albeit, maybe I could have got more than one championship if I didn't blow up kind of the core of this squad. That being said, where's the fun in that, though? Developing a team and kind of waiting things out, never even knowing how many championships you're going to win. It's not really fun. We are going to lose this game, though, so we're not going to beat the Spurs on their home floor. Let's see if we can do it on our own floor. That would be cool. I don't want a stressful game. I'd rather just have some fun. Yes, thank you. I just want to have a fun chance to kind of talk about the Magic. I know this video's been long enough forever. I'll see you guys in there. Game 5 here in Orlando. We are going to see if we can close out the San Antonio Spurs and bring it the first championship in the history of the Orlando Magic. I think it'd be really cool. Honestly, like they were in, what was the last, because they were in the finals in 2009 and they lost to the Lakers. That's when the Lakers made 3 years in a row and won 2 in a row, went back to back, beat my Celtics in 2010 after the Celtics beat them in 2008. But yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that the Magic in 5 years are necessarily going to be contenders. The team obviously won't look anything like this. That being said, though, they've done a really good job over there kind of rebuilding and kind of building up this young core to hopefully be back in the playoffs, maybe by even, I don't want to say this upcoming season, but maybe the one after that, maybe as a lower team, maybe like a play-in team. But, you know, the possibilities are endless because the talent really is there. I think Paolo Banchero is going to be an absolute stud in this league, and I'm definitely excited to see him play. So, on top of that, I'm very happy with the way this team kind of came out today. Albeit it wasn't the way I kind of envisioned it going, but it's, you know, still obviously cool to win a championship, especially with a team that, you know, sometimes with teams like this, I don't always win championships. So I'm very happy the way this one kind of did work out today. Hopefully you guys did enjoy as well. I'll kind of do the outro here as I'm talking just because I know long outros with nothing behind them are kind of boring. So that does pretty much wrap this one up. It is kind of weird to be playing and talking to you guys at the same time when I'm looking at the camera, but I had fun with this one. Let me know your thoughts on the Magic next season. They're obviously probably still going to be a lottery team, but who knows? Maybe something can happen to them, and maybe they'll end up sneaking into the plan somehow. Probably not. I still think they're probably one of the... I don't want to say, like, worse, because, like, that's, like, a bad... I don't necessarily think it's a bad phrase, but, like, they're not, like, a good team necessarily, but, like, the future is just so good that what in the fuck was that, Xavier? I don't know, man. But, yeah, it's weird. I've never, like, really taken the route of having 3 point guards in a starting lineup, and, like... It is really, really weird, but, you know, it did work out today. So, yeah, let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section, kind of the way I went about this rebuild. I mean, thinking about it, like, if I do the same thing over and over for, like, continuously in rebuilds, like, obviously I try to post, like, 6 or 7 days a week. It gets pretty boring, and I'm sure it gets boring for you guys. It gets boring for me recording them, so I like to spice it up sometimes. Do some, it's a dumb move. Do some somewhat crazy shit like this, but I'll sim with you guys right now. If we get the glitch, we get the glitch. We'll see what happens, but whatever does happen. Oh, no, we don't get the glitch. Let's see who won our finals MVP with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. So, nonetheless, thank you guys all so much for watching. As always, I had fun with this one, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it as well. Of course, if you guys do have any other video ideas, feel free to comment them down below. I'd be happy to spice it up, maybe do some non-5-year rebuilds before 2K23. If you guys saw the leaks for 2K23, it actually looks pretty good. There's some new features coming in to 2K23. I'm going to do a video on them probably pretty soon talking about them. Also, this weekend, this one's going up on Friday this weekend, will be the 30K subscriber special. Once again, seriously, from the bottom of my heart, thank you guys so much for that. As always, if you guys have not yet, would like to join the community on the road to 40K, it would be appreciated. Yeah, that wraps this one up. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys. I'll catch you guys all in the next one.